Hi, I'm Kit Cassingham, longevity coach with Live in Focused Energy. I work with people to create smoother transitions into elderhood. I transform the fear of aging. My mission is to inspire people to take better care of themselves so that the extra years they have will be healthy and purposeful. All right, Alex, how about you?
So my name is Alex Niel. I am a certified high performance and mindset coach, and I work with women executives who feel unfulfilled despite being successful. I help them to rediscover what's important to them so they can move forward and leave the enduring legacy that they want to leave.
Sounds like a great podcast title.
Gee, I wonder.
Dr. W, who are you? And do you have a cape? I think somebody with a name like Dr. W should have a cape.
I don't have a cape. I should get one. I'm Corey. I'm an environmental consultant. Just here to talk and learn.
Cool.
And have fun.
And have fun.
Especially today.
So, this whole topic of, are we having fun yet? People will say that when they're really going through drudgery. Things are going wrong and they go, God, are we having fun yet? And I've gotten to thinking about that could be a great question to ask to turn around your mindset. And then I got to thinking, do we create enough fun in our lives so that we don't have to ask if we're having fun? Because the answer is always going to be yes. So that's what started this. And I found a real interesting quote that I want to start with. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Yeah.
By George Bernard Shaw.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. And I was always like, when I heard it, I was like, like that really got my noggin going.
Did you have an immediate affinity for, oh yeah? Or what in the world does that mean?
No, it was like, oh yeah, true.
So did you go out and start playing?
No, I don't remember where I was or what I was doing exactly, but it's always something that's kind of in the back of my mind, and I always endeavor to have fun, no matter what I'm doing, because otherwise what's the point, right?
Yeah. I think I've shared this with both of you at different points in time, that my husband and I work and play every day. My 9 to 5 Monday through Friday friends go, oh, you guys work too much. You shouldn't be working at night or on the weekends. You need to take time off. Did the 4-hour lunch yesterday count as time off while you were stuck at your desk?
Yeah.
So that I as you can tell, I make my own rules, and that's fun for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And go ahead. What?
No, I was just thinking, I think making our own rules would be fun for more people than not.
I think
people who are in corporate and who are maybe not necessarily having fun every day. Because I remember in my days, I wasn't necessarily having fun all the time, even though I tried and I aimed to do that. But it's also, I feel, especially in the corporate setting, it's more difficult to show up and have fun because it looks like you're not serious or you're not working or you're not, right? And so it carries with it somewhat of a negative,
it can
potentially a negative connotation.
Which is why if more people adopted the idea of let's have fun, when they saw somebody working hard and having fun, they wouldn't judge them negatively. They'd go, oh yeah, let's do that. So one way, I don't know if you can see, I haven't been in corporate in so long. Could you get away with having a toy on your desk?
I did. I didn't care.
Okay. So
Corey, do you have
Yeah, what did you have?
What I had on my desk?
I have a friend in Victoria who bought herself a desk with a wall of shelves, and it was filled with little toys. Gumby and Pokey. I
Okay.
have a Jack kayaker. You saw my lion, and I put the rest of my toys over there because I was playing with them so much. And this way, when I need to move, I can walk over to my toys and get some
There
movement.
you go. Yeah, I remember now. I used to have a juggling set on my desk.
You can juggle.
I can, well, not
You
well.
had you had a juggling set on
I
your
can
desk.
throw
Got it.
balls around, but whether or not I can catch them is a different story. But it used to, like, when I would have to think, I'd take them out and I would, I would play, and it would help me to kind of just think things
Yeah,
through.
yeah. Do you know why it helped?
Because I had to pay attention to what I was doing, and it freed my brain to come up with its own solutions.
Well, yes, and you were taking a break, which is what lets your back burner kick into gear. But maybe because your thoughts and your actions are crossing that median line, which can open up creativity.
Interesting. Maybe. I don't
All
know. I
right.
just know it worked.
Well, and that's the bottom line. Yeah. Do you have toys at your desk,
I have a
Corey?
lot of toys at my desk, yes. Both my home desk and my work
You look,
desk.
you're grinning like the Cheshire Cat, like you're dying to show us your toys.
I have a couple here, like a little spaceship dude, all kinds of stuff. I have a lot more at my work office,
Okay.
as well as like a lava lamp. I have all kinds of fun stuff.
Very
Oh, I
cool.
hadn't thought of bringing. We have a lava lamp, but it's just acting like a bookend in the TV room. Oh, no, I don't have enough room for that kind of toy. Well, so this conversation reflects whatever one that I had while I was thinking, since I decided this would be a great topic and to get me here. It's like, well, how do you define fun anyway? And it's kind of an interesting exercise. Are we talking about games or activities, conversations, hobbies, fashion, exploration, adventure? What do we mean when we say fun?
Mhm.
I think this conversation could go on for hours or days.
I think it
You up
can.
for
Yeah. Because I think everybody has a different definition of fun. What is fun for me would be drudgery for you guys, maybe, right?
Well, yeah, like fun, unusual foods to eat, as we were talking about the other day.
Or I may, find cooking exceedingly fun, but it's absolute torture for somebody else.
I have a friend and client who does not like to cook, so she only eats out and hadn't figured out how to balance her health and weight with that issue. So
That's I can totally identify with that, because the hedonist in me wants to go have fun all the time. And then, it's like I have a devil and an angel on my shoulders. The devil is constantly, or the angel is constantly saying, be good. You want to be healthy, so make better choices. And then the devil on my shoulder goes, but it's so much more fun to not,
Oh,
it's so
go
much
ahead,
better to have
Alex.
fun and just enjoy all these yummy foods.
You want that extra cookie, go for it. You want that extra slice of pizza, go for it. Yeah. Yeah. You need to have them have their own little meeting and get their act together. So.
Yeah, well, I just need to make better choices, because there's always a reason, right? There's always an excuse. There's always a celebration. There's always something going on that says, you know what?
Well, and people think you can't have that. You, Alex, cannot have fun without sugar and alcohol to celebrate with. And when I've quit drinking sugar, I quit drinking alcohol and eating sugar many, many times through the years. And my friends would say, how do you celebrate? And I go, like this. Yeah. They're going,
excuse me.
They don't get that's fun.
Yeah. It's true. And, it's interesting because I grew up in Europe, and since we're talking about drinking, and every once in a while we would have a little bit of wine, when we were younger, just to taste or just to normalize having alcohol without making alcohol this big taboo thing.
Right.
And then when I came to the US and I saw kids drinking and getting drunk, and that was fun, I was like, what do you mean that's fun? I don't get that.
You don't
Because
understand.
it was
Yeah.
like, and don't get me wrong, it's happened to me. I'm not like, my halo does not exist, right? But at the same time, when I see people doing it consistently, it just feels weird to me, I guess.
We have a very unhealthy attitude toward alcohol here in the United States. And I'm going to change the subject because this isn't fun.
You're right. You're right.
But I will finish it with, my sister spent a semester in France during college, and her French family had a little girl, and she was part of the wine along with everybody else. She had a little glass with a little wine and a lot of water.
Yeah.
And she was fine with it. I mean, that was how she was raised. So
yeah.
Anyway, so one of the questions I would love us to explore is, how much time do you spend having fun weekly, daily, hourly, monthly, whatever, but weekly at least?
I would say as many as possible. I do have fun with the work that I do, which is something that I'm rediscovering, because it wasn't always like that, or at least not as much. And we do try to have like new experiences relatively frequently, every couple of weeks, or because both my honey and I are entrepreneurs. We're both building a business. So we do spend a lot of time on our business, including weekends, including, so that there are times we do realize we have to get out of our apartment, get out of our office, get out of our heads, go out and explore new things and have new experiences so that we can bring some of that back into what we do. But fun for me is, you gotta have fun. If you don't have fun, what do you have?
Nothing. Yeah. It would be fun to have a little, there we go again, message would pop up on your computer screen every so often that says, Alex, step away from the computer.
You can do that. You can program that into your phone.
Well,
you can set an alarm.
You could, yes. But I've had so many alarms that I ignored them all. That's why I'm saying have something. Oh, it's just an alarm telling me to do something. Oh, I was supposed to go meet Randy for dinner. Oh, well. But to have your screen obscured from you with his sign, maybe it's only my husband who needs that. Because he loves being at his computer. That he is very creative. He has a lot of fun there, but he sits a lot. So anyway.
But I think there's also a difference between having fun in terms of enjoying the work that you do, and really having fun just letting loose and
letting your hair down.
Yeah, and just forgetting about the world and being immersed in something that brings you joy.
Absolutely agree. Though having fun at work is very important.
Agreed.
Says to the woman who left her job because she wasn't having fun.
That's right.
Corey, how about you? Do you have fun every week?
I mean, I certainly
And
have
how
fun
much?
the weekends every week. My wife and I always try to go do something fun, whether it's just going for a walk somewhere we haven't been, or even somewhere we have been, trying to get out, or doing a puzzle, just something that we enjoy.
You're a puzzle person?
Oh yeah.
So am I.
Me too.
Talk about getting lost for hours. My God.
And then at work, like I enjoy what I do, but I think in my line of work, it does vary a bit. Just as a consultant, you work on a variety of projects every week of, in different aspects and on different topics. And so, like what I've been doing the past couple of days, I really enjoy, and that is a very fun topic. And then last week, it's like, well, this needs to get done. It's not so fun, but I need to get it done with it to go back to what I really enjoy doing. So it's just,
and that's when you said, am I having fun yet?
Right.
So Corey, how do you deal with when you're doing something that either you don't enjoy or you find boring, how do you inject fun into that? Can you inject fun into that?
I don't know. Yeah, I think that you can inject fun in some ways. I view it as like maybe not so much fun, but a relief from the not fun, as I try to take breaks regularly.
Yeah, okay.
So step away from my computer, or go for a little walk, or kind of do whatever. And so, especially if I'm at the office, it's like, okay, well, I can walk around the industrial complex outside if it's warm enough, but that's not fun necessarily. It's good to get moving though, and it keeps my brain, fresh, and it just kind of breaks it up for me. So.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question about that last comment of I can walk around the complex and it's not fun, but I'm outdoors and moving.
Mm-hmm.
What could you do to make it more fun?
That's a good question. Guess I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
This is an invitation. Think. Well, for example, I used to commute all the way to the house next door, which is from door to door is a third of a mile. So, it wasn't a few feet, but my fun in the walk on 0-degree days with some wind was to look for things in nature that I hadn't noticed before. Sometimes I could smell the musk of the bucks. Sometimes I'd see one little dried out oak leaf hanging on a limb still, and then the wind would take it away. In the spring, in the summer, one time I saw bright flash of orange and yellow, and I had to go look it up. It was a western tanager, I believe, that I'd never seen before, and I've never seen a bird. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So industrial parks have birds, maybe not bucks, but maybe. So what could be, if you're a car enthusiast, how many of your favorite cars can you see?
Yeah.
How many different states are the license plates from?
Right.
Play games.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Or you could play the old game we played as kids, step on a crack and break your mother's back. And then you have to decide, am I stepping on them or avoiding them today?
Right.
That's such an American thing to say. I don't think there's an equivalent in French that I know of.
Well, but you get to drink wine, so it balances out somehow.
Cool, that works.
Well, as you may not be able to tell this from my very serious demeanor, but I work, play, and fun, I should say, into my everyday. I mean, even the way I dress is fun for me. Conventional wisdom has all of Steve Jobs, can't think of his name, many of the high. Yes, they have their uniform. They have a black turtleneck t-shirt and black jeans and a black belt. That's what they wear, and maybe one dress suit. That's what they wear because they don't want to waste their energy thinking about what to wear. I relish going into my closet and go, what colors will I wear today? And that's fun for me. So you would be taking away my fun. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a black turtleneck and that's all I wore. But I would have to do something else to it to jazz it up. Make my cat's my only social style fashion critic. So, and she's very vocal. So I do think it's important. But Alex, I have noticed that because I do joke and play and don't behave in a professional manner, I'm not taken as seriously as I could be and maybe want to be. And I've decided I'll be okay with that.
Yeah. You know what? At the end of the day, you got to do what's right for you.
Yeah.
And if that means being playful, then people who are like you will gravitate to you, and everybody else can fall off this,
I have a friend who signed on to my coaching because she said, I want what you have. Because of her childhood, she didn't have that playfulness. And so we worked on it, and it's fun. See, there we go.
There you go. There's that pesky word again.
Let's keep it rolling.
So talking about fun, how often do you guys get to be childlike in how you approach things in the things that you do?
Define childlike. What do you
For
mean?
me, it's I guess it's a sense of wonder. It's a sense of curiosity and a bit of that sense of exploration and learning. But when I look at kids playing in the playground and, you know, they make up all these fun scenarios and they, you know, make sandcastles and then they have epic battles. And so I think it's going back to that childlike wonder and willingness and desire to just explore.
Can I add to that I think it's also using your creativity and imagination and having an awe in life.
Yeah, a sense of wonder.
So, yeah. So there's something for us to play with. Okay.
I mean, I
So
think
now
I get to do that quite a bit because, you know, what we do is we solve environmental problems, right? And so every site is different. The history of every site is different. The actions that you're going to take on every site is different. And so every time you approach a new project, it has to be with that sort of sense of exploration. You know, you're not going to just fall back on what you did last week because it's like, well, this is a totally different exercise now. So let's explore. Let's figure out what happened. Let's, you know, because we're curious. We want to figure out everything that's gone wrong. And now we need to be creative and think of ways that we could fix what's gone wrong and figure out if that doesn't work, how to be adaptive. And so it's very dynamic in that way.
I can totally
and
see
you
that.
said one of my favorite words, curious. I think curiosity is vital for being a good child at any age and to get you into aging. I mean, I think we age less when we have an active curiosity bone going on.
Yeah, agreed. And you know how Brandon has us work on our 3 self words?
Yes.
Curious is the first of my 3 words. As a reminder to not take anything or everything for granted, not take everything as a, you know, foregone conclusion, but to question and to explore and to approach things with that sense of curiosity.
Yeah. I did an exercise like this with Modern Elder Academy just last week, and my words were energetic, playful, inspiring, and creative.
Nice.
So I didn't get curious in there, which is kind of funny, but oh no, the reason I chose those words is because we had to work off of the acronym EPIC.
Okay.
But I could have said curious instead of creative, but anyway.
That's okay.
I didn't, but yeah.
So how about you, Kit? How do you infuse that sense of wonder?
By applying curiosity to the world. The clouds always provide something interesting to look at and ponder. I mean, as kids, we'd lie in the grass and stare at the clouds and spot the different images. Oh, look, the giraffe is eating the elephant. Yeah. So I think curiosity is what keeps my awe and wonder alive, active and alive. Doing things differently with things that you wouldn't expect to have happen, that lets me feel more childlike. Some people tell me I'm more childish when I do that, but that's okay.
All right.
But so I allow myself to be very childlike in all that I do.
That's good. That's why you're the longevity coach. Because that's what keeps us younger.
I suspect you're right about that. Yeah. And I would love for other people to continue to being young like they are, or get young like they used to be. I don't know if I've told you guys, and I think this fits into the playfulness. I'm organizing what I'm calling a slumber party / coaching retreat.
Yeah, you
And
talked about it.
you've been seeing it, but I'm going to have us play games. And somebody just introduced me to, and I'm not going to share what it is because somebody who might be listening who's going to come, but something that would keep awe and wonder at the top of your mind. And the idea of a bunch of people hanging out and singing around the campfire, telling ghost stories, taking a walk, whatever, it feels very, I mean, it just gets the child in me wiggling my toes and going, oh, I can't wait.
You know, you talked about telling stories by the campfire. It reminds me of a story. Years ago, I was in California visiting my brother. He was living there at the time. And his kids were not even barely in their teens. And where it's dark and we have the fire pit going. And Jean-Luc starts telling a story. And he goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And then he ended up with this crazy punchline, and I ended up scaring my nephew because just as Jean-Luc was telling the punchline, I lunged at my nephew, and it was a fun moment. It was it's such a wonderful memory for me, and I just want to thank you for saying that because you brought it back to the forefront, and it's something that I had forgotten about. So
good.
Yeah, being
So
with
do you,
makes it fun.
yes,
Makes everything fun, as long as you can give them back at the end of the day.
I was gonna say,
Corey, do you have kids?
In about 3 months we will. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Do you have a name for it yet?
We don't know if it's boy or girl, so
Okay.
it's gonna be a surprise.
I think you could name it Kit. That would fit either case.
Alex works well too.
Right. Yeah.
Alex?
So there you go. I have 2 options now to think about.
There you go.
I wonder if we
Work them
could
right in
combine.
there.
My family gets really tired of that joke because I have said it to every sibling and every niece view who's had kids, and none of them taken me up on it, but one day.
You're the 4th person to have offered their name to us, so.
My name is short, sweet, easy to spell, and memorable, and confusing.
And you will never shorten it.
Right.
Now, I have friends who shorten their names to one letter,
True.
but my first husband's family did that. Hey, C and B, have you seen R?
Interesting. Hey, whatever works for them.
Yeah, and it was a cute little thing for their family.
That's it.
Yeah. So do you keep childishness or childlikeness in your daily life, in your work, or your life, besides scaring your nephew?
I think in my life, yes, I like to just forget that we're supposed to have societal conventions and just be myself and just do, stupid things around the house with Justin or with my friends. And I have a friend who has a ping pong table at home and a pool table at home. And especially when we go and play ping pong, the two of us, we're both highly competitive. But that's the one thing where we're like, we don't keep score. We just try to kill each other and score as many points as possible. But the point is to just have fun. And when we let go of that desire to win, we make the most incredible shots. Like, it's crazy how well we play when we're not worried about winning.
Yeah.
Because we're just enjoying being in the moment and being silly with each other, and just
you allow yourselves to get into the flow.
That's it. That's it.
Well, do you have fun in your coaching? I mean, do you have a childlike approach to it ever?
I think more, not so much when, how can I say this? I got to think about this for a second, because I do take, coaching someone for me is a huge responsibility.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't want to be like all fuddy-duddy and all serious and all,
Right.
because then that's no fun for me. That's no fun for them. So it's a delicate balance of every once in a while injecting something, a comment or an action or whatever it is that brings it to life and that makes it fun without distracting from, in a way, from the mission.
The importance of the project.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I ask is one of my favorite stories that I've heard Brendan tell was, and hopefully nobody who was in that call will be listening, but he was brought into a company to help sort out the, what do I want to say, the atmosphere, the culture maybe.
Okay.
And it seems that the employees did not feel the boss paid attention to them, wasn't really present.
Right.
And they're all sitting around a table and they're all talking about this, sharing their thoughts and ideas. And the boss has his face buried in his phone.
Mm.
And Brendan tried to get his attention and didn't work. Brendan accidentally knocked over a glass of water onto the guy's lap. He jumped up and Brendan said, "Oh, I guess you'll have to pay more attention now." Or so, I don't know exactly what he said, but he drove the point home with whatever short message. And I thought that was kind of a fun way to make the point. And I think the boss got the idea.
Yeah.
So
sometimes we do, we can use fun as a way to snap people out of inattention, for sure. Snap people out of doing things I was going to say automagically, but it's not really magically, it's automatically, because they're just so used to doing the same thing over and over and over and over again that they lose their ability to see that maybe there's a different way or a better way or a fun way to do things.
Yeah. There's that word. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, is having fun frivolous or vital in life?
Oh, it's vital.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't have fun, I might as well be dead, because what's the point? Whether it's, fun at work, fun at home, it's being playful, it's got to be fun. It's got to be fun. And, when I think about, and you and I talked about this, my one way to get me to do anything is to tell me we're going to have fun, because that just floats my boat. It could be the most boring job in the world, but if you tell me we're going to have fun, I'm going to be there.
And contribute to the fun.
That's right.
And Corey, what do you think? Is fun frivolous? Or is it vital?
I think it's vital. I think fun for me is synonymous with enjoyment and happiness. So if you're not having fun, like you never do something you enjoy, but you say, I enjoyed that, but it wasn't fun. Like no one ever says that, right? So to me, it's kind of the same thing.
Well, I have heard people say that, and you have to scratch their head. It's like, so what kept this enjoyable thing from being fun?
Right. So for me, I guess they're synonymous. So I think that, you need to have it.
Yeah. It's like oxygen, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least for me. It's, if there's no fun, then it's like, what's the point?
If there's no oxygen, you're dead. I learned in EMT school that O's are important. And when you see somebody on the floor passed out, the first thing you do is give them O's.
Yeah.
Let's take out the O and put in the fun. And
but I think, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how fun is perceived, right? Because it's like, I remember when we used to have sales meetings when I was in corporate, we used to go off site and we'd, work from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 or 7
8
o'clock at
o'clock.
night, and then we'd go
Yeah.
out to dinner, and then we would have, then we would have fun. So I guess it's finding moments where we inject that fun. And I think we also have to be savvy as to when we're in a corporate environment, what the culture can tolerate, right? Because you have cultures where fun is a part of the DNA of the company, and others where it isn't. So there is room for fun, I think, everywhere. How that is expressed may need to be different depending on the people and the company culture.
And for me, it gets back to, what do you mean by fun?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if the three of us were in a meeting and we're talking about something really serious and important, finding the communication among us that resolves it is satisfying, and therefore for me, fun. And so maybe there's an example of, oh no, it's not good. Hopefully it's enjoyable, and that's fun.
And it gives you satisfaction, right?
Yeah. And so I find fun in being satisfied with something, and the process is fun for me. I like finding solutions. Maybe it's because I like to find solutions.
Right.
And so if I'm involved in finding a solution, I'm having fun.
The process isn't always fun, though. Like, I'll give you an oddball
I want to
example.
start.
I went to the dentist because I had a hot tooth and they had to drill without Novocaine,
Yes.
or no matter how much Novocaine, it didn't make a difference. So did I enjoy the end result? Absolutely. Did I enjoy the process, and was the process fun? Hell no.
Yeah, but you weren't part of the solution. You didn't get to employ your curiosity. You just, and
I
Alex,
just
for
sat there
whatever,
and suffered.
I didn't have any, what is it? When you deaden teeth.
Oh, root canals?
No, I haven't.
Anesthetic.
What'd you say? Anesthetic. I didn't have any of that until I had a tooth pulled in 9th grade because I was getting braces. Every cavity, and I had a lot of them, that I'd had up till then, was without, they put headphones on me and I got to pick my music and beat out to the kids' tunes that I chose.
I am traumatized from an experience when I was a kid where the doctor drilled without Novocaine, and that's where all my phobia of dentists come from.
Yep.
Dentist is not fun.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
No arguments here. I get to go to my dentist next week.
I'm going on Friday.
We'll get together and commiserate later.
Yeah, I'll talk to you next week.
I have been totally sugar and alcohol free for 2.5 months.
So that should help. That should be good.
That's what I'm thinking. And if he says he found a cavity, I'm gonna say you're a liar. Because that'll make me giggle and then I won't feel so bad.
Yeah. Cool. So how often and how much fun do you guys bring into your work life?
I'm gonna let Corey answer this one.
I think I bring as much for myself as I can. I can't speak for how much I bring to others. I try to have fun and be casual and, just talk to people and make things more lighthearted and everything, but all I can control is myself. So
yeah,
I try to have as much fun as I can. Whether the people I was meeting with earlier today thought it was fun to meet with me, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm impressed that you can control yourself. I haven't found that yet. For me, not for you.
Control is a strong word, but do my best.
It is a strong word, but you came across very confidently.
Well, I try to do it. That was where the confidence was.
Do you have any particular tricks that you use to inject fun into the work mode?
I don't know. I mean, no.
I mean, is having a coffee cup with a message on it, can that be something fun you do in the office?
Yeah, I mean, I have a coffee cup that looks like a golf flag, and it has a hole, like the bottom is cupped, and it came with a little golf ball and a pen that's a golf club, so you can hit it through the bottom of the cup. So I have all kinds of that stuff. Yeah, I have a Rubik's
That's
cube on
cool.
my desk. I have another little fidgety thing on my desk. So
Okay.
that's a good way to infuse fun, I guess.
For me, it's always
Sarah-
words. It's always, through through verbal communication. Just saying something that I think is funny. Do other people think it's funny? Sometimes not. But it's really about, like, I'm very big on double entendre. That's something that
Yes.
my boyfriend and I often, play around with. And that's, I found, a way to inject more fun into conversations, especially when it's a moment of maybe tense discussion or something like that. It's a way to kind of break the pattern, to change the energy and change what's going on around that moment.
Puns are also real good for that. When I was learning a little bit about how our body responds to our emotions, I was realizing that my mother had gotten a bladder infection on a trip that we took, the three, my dad, mom, and I. And I realized that she had a lot of buried anger. And I just came up with, man, is she pissed off? That's a good one. She didn't think it was very funny, but that's okay.
You know what? It sounds like the perfect dad joke.
Yes, I'm great at dad jokes, except I'm not a dad.
I know,
Is that a
but I
problem?
love dad jokes too.
Yeah.
They're my favorite. So
I do allow fun in my work life. I mean, with the toys, picking on my cat, having a cat in the office, and
that makes a difference.
breaking the rule that don't let the cat be in your Zoom calls. Well, I can't control that. So I hope you have fun with her.
Yeah. No, and they're always, having our fur friends around is always, it's always fun. It's a good de-stressor too.
I was going to say it helps lower our blood pressures. So that's valuable.
Yeah, for sure. So you just talked about blood pressure. What are some of the benefits of having more fun? Because lowering stress for sure, right? You just talked about blood pressure.
Yes. So laughter is great medicine.
Yeah.
And we tend to laugh when we're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so those are two. But when we have fun, we tend to be moving. Even if we're just doing our jigsaw puzzles, we're still moving and bending over and leaning over to pick up the piece that we dropped or that the cat knocked onto the floor. So it's the movement. We're working our brains in different ways when we're having fun. I even will do things like brush my teeth with my left hand, and I have an electric toothbrush, so you wouldn't think it'd be a big deal.
No, that's,
but it's
non-dominant hand is hard.
It is. I haven't taken to eating with my non-dominant hand because I guess I could put a bib on. Oh, I could learn to eat smaller bites that wouldn't fall off the fork or spoon as much.
Nah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. I just read that Kobe Bryant had said everything he could do with his right hand, dribble, shoot, whatever, he could do with his left hand. So he worked at being ambidextrous, and I thought that was pretty cool. Jim Quick would be so proud of him. But I think if you enjoy cooking and you work at cooking delicious, healthy meals, you're having fun and getting healthy. I have a nephew who loves to cook, or at least loved to cook. And he would, for his birthday, go take a cooking class and invite his friends to come with him.
Oh, cool.
So he got social time, he learned how to cook. And I thought, what a great idea. I have to find out if we have a cooking school around here where I could do that. So anyway, so there are a few examples of what I think health benefits of having fun. Do you guys have any ideas?
Yeah, I think when we're having fun, we tend to see the world more optimistically. I think being able to not be so pessimistic about what we see has a whole impact on our whole body chemistry and how we see things, has an impact on our mental health and on our mindset. So the more we can bring those moments of having fun and enjoying ourselves, I think the more we keep our energy vibrating at a higher level, and that is a huge benefit, not just for our physical health, but for our mental health as well.
And for others, because that raised vibration impacts people
For
around you
everybody
too.
else, yeah. Yeah.
To go back to bringing fun into work, one of my workshops is called Energize Me. And so I love to share the 7 tips that I use to stay energized. And I keep finding new little things. And there's one that I learned, I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, that humming is really good for you. One,
Really?
it makes people wonder what you're up to, which is fun. But if you hum, your sinuses vibrate, and that for some reason or somehow creates nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a vasodilator, and that opens up your blood vessels so that the blood with its food and oxygen and stuff flows through your body better. So your brain, your heart, and your lungs get a better supply of oxygen and food. And people wonder what you're up to. So I love sharing that kind of thing. So
that's so funny because I don't hum except when I'm cooking. I'll usually like hum something to myself. I don't know if it's a ditty that I hear during the day or whatever, but usually when I'm cooking is when I'm humming. I don't do it any other time.
Well, maybe you can now, and Jess will go, why are you humming?
He won't hear me. He's got his headphones on.
Oh. Corey, do you hum?
No, I whistle, but
I do that too.
yeah, that doesn't
Whistling's
make
fun, but
I can't imagine.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just hum for both of you.
All right.
That's good.
Send some of that nitric oxide my way.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll see if I can bottle it up and send it on over. Maybe you can give it to your little person.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Too much fun. Too much fun. So what are some things that you guys do to like, what are some, how can I ask this? What are some unusual things or some things that people would find unusual that are fun for you guys? Go for it.
I fell in love with the idea of labyrinths. I had a blast building a labyrinth out in my backyard. I don't know where the backyard starts or ends when you have 40 acres, but I collected all the rocks and stones from our yard, and there are a lot of them. And I found a spot with had 2 trees, and I had the guy with the backhoe place the big ones in a circle around that spot. And that was my center. And then I just would move the rocks and I created a spiral. It's not a more traditional type of labyrinth, but I'd call my girlfriend and say, hey, you want to go collect rocks with me? So we'd take the wheelbarrow out and fill it with rocks. And of course, it was always downhill from where we need to take it. So we took turns pushing it. I've had a great time, and I got to the end and I go, no, I want more. So I found more rocks, and I need a backhoe to place the last few, or a very strong person.
Are you going to start charging?
No. What, to build it or to let people walk it?
Let people walk it.
I did have a policy for a while. Hey, Alex, come over for dinner. And the fee is bring some rocks.
There you go.
I got some great rocks.
I bet.
Corey, when you come for dinner, bring rocks.
All right. See what I can fit in my bag.
So there's an example of incorporating fun that everybody's going, really?
Yeah.
And then I get to walk the labyrinth. When I want to process or ponder something, I start on the outside and just kind of keep chewing on the thing and find myself in the middle. Sometimes I'll sit with the little trees, and the trees are only 4 feet high today. And then I work my way out. By the time I get to the end, I have a solution. It's
That's
magical.
good.
A lot of magical.
There you go. There you go. How about you, Corey?
I don't know that I have anything like building a labyrinth that's unusual,
Well,
but
Yeah, you're
That's kind of a hard one to top, isn't
like
it?
that comes to mind. I like building there's these like little metal models that are very, very intricate little models of different things, and they require like, you know, a lot of fine detail, use tweezers and stuff to build them, and it takes a long time and it requires a lot of focus, and it's just a nice way to spend some time, relax, have some fun.
Interesting. Interesting.
Very cool. Very cool.
But so Alex did ask something you think is fun that others wouldn't.
Allie hates them.
Okay, well that answers the question.
there you
before
go.
I got to finish asking it.
First, I got into them because I bought her one as a Valentine's Day present, and she thought I gave her a torture device, and she said, "You build it," and I built it, and I loved it, and I've built 10 or 12.
And that's the end of that. The rest is history. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's good. How
For
about
me,
you, Alex?
For me, it's a couple of different things. It's things that get my adrenaline going, like hang gliding or jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Do you put a parachute on?
Generally, yeah, that tends to work out a little bit better.
The landing softer?
Yeah, a little bit. And but then the other thing that's honestly one of my favorite, because they're fun stories to tell, is just trying weird foods.
Tell
Like,
Corey
and
the
that's
weird.
something I can never get Justin to do. Like, I got him to try chicken hearts, not, you know, and he keeps trying.
Is that a weird food?
For some people,
Oh,
yes.
for some people, yes.
For some
Yes.
people, yes.
Thank you for reminding me.
But you know, he's like, he just can't do it. So you and I were talking the other day about one of the weirdest things I probably ate is Justin likes to call it frog fallopian tubes. It's
Which
not
is what you told
quite
me.
that, but we'll go with that. And the funny story around it was that I took a picture of it. I was in Singapore having dinner, and I took a picture of it, and I sent it to him, and I said, if you can guess what this is, I'll marry you. And I should have said, there's no checking on Google anything, because he like finds anything that you can possibly need on Google. And he came back and he said, you know, he said what it was. And then everybody underneath, because it was something we did through Facebook, because I wasn't home. And everybody's like, where's my invitation? We want to come to the wedding. So we, you know, that was kind of the side benefit, so to speak. But I think what's fun for me is to see other people's reaction when I tell them the weird stuff I eat. And to me, it's not, some of it is weird, granted. But some of it is, to me, just interesting. Like, I'm curious. I want to know, well, what does that taste like? Right. And one thing that I learned is I never want to say I don't like it if I've never tasted it, except for Spam. I've never tried Spam. And I will not try Spam.
How about Scrapple?
Oh, I've had that. I don't like, I don't do Scrapple. No.
Okay, well, because Spam and Scrapple are essentially the same thing. I thought I was going to trick you.
Yeah, no.
Nice try, kid.
Not a big fan of Scrapple.
I love it.
Nope. I'm out. I'll try everything once.
I will give things a try too.
I've had jellyfish, silkworms.
But see, you've traveled the world. We don't typically have silkworms to sample here in the United States.
When you're in the country in China, you don't necessarily have that many choices. So
it's very true, especially Canton and South. They say anything that flies or has legs is, except a table or an airplane, is game for eating.
And to be honest, I know it's from, famines and having to survive and eating everything that you could get your hands on, because there was, that was the only thing, that was all you could do.
Yeah.
But going back to our topic of the day, that was definitely not fun. But now they're part of, these types of foods are part of everyday life.
Indeed. Corey, are you adventurous when it comes to food?
Yeah, I'll try just about anything once too.
How about chicken heart?
So what are some of the stuff you've tried?
Gosh, let's see. I had ostrich.
Okay.
I've had, I'm trying to remember, blood sausage when I was in Prague, which isn't too
I like
weird.
blood
It's just
sausage.
not something that we have here too much.
Yeah.
But you can get it, especially like in the north central part of the country.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to think more, but I'm always willing to try stuff. Bit of it's obscure, but like I really like the little tiny baby octopi that you can get at like sushi bars. I think they're great. But I can't get Allie to eat them, so I have to keep trying to convince her she's not as adventurous.
How about chocolate covered insects?
I've had a scorpion and a sucker before.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I've had chocolate covered mealworms.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Chinese will put scorpions and snakes and bugs into their liquors.
When I was living in Mexico, I remember one time we were traveling and my dad ordered a cricket pizza. And I was 13, 14 at the time. And I just could not get past the mental block of eating a cricket.
And you
even
just
if it
nailed
was all nicely laid out on a pizza.
You just nailed the problem.
Couldn't do it.
Our imaginations keep us from exploring and being curious.
Yeah. That was one of my rules when I was in China. I was like, if you want me to eat a bug, it cannot look like a bug. Otherwise, I won't eat it.
Right.
And don't tell me before I eat it. You're allowed to tell me after I eat, but don't tell me before I eat.
And maybe stand beside me when you tell me, because if I throw up, I don't want to. I have a strong constitution, so. All right. We could go, like I said, we could do this for hours.
Yes, we could. Yes, we could. Next time we need to bring snacks and share our favorite snacks.
I like that.
Okay. Next time is, what is it? The challenge excites me. That is the next one. So maybe that would be.
Let's do a fear factor like challenge next time.
All right. And in the meantime, okay. So let's wind this up. Alex, do you have anything to offer the audience?
No, not this week. Just I have I'm doing an interview series called The Legacies We Leave, Conversations about Fulfillment, Joy, and Purpose. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on my YouTube channel. But otherwise, just have fun.
How about your discovery session that you do for people? Is that anything you want me to put in the show notes?
Yeah, could. I have a couple things. I do a 30-minute jumpstart session if you're mulling over an issue, if you're feeling stuck and you want help to talk things through, we can definitely do that. I also, if you're ready to actually take the next step and explore coaching, I do a 75-minute discovery session, and we can start looking at topics like clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence, and see how we can kind of get you moving on those things. So
you could have used that courage session before your dad gave you cricket pizza.
could have. I had no idea what coaching was at the time, though.
I know. That's a minor detail.
So that's it.
Okay. And as usual, I have a handful of things. I mentioned my workshop around Energize Me. My next one's coming up on March 14th, but I offer that every month, and I offer one called Face It to Change It. It started off as a class to help you transform your fear, and I realized it works for anything. The framework that I teach works on anything you're wanting to avoid. So I'll have those in the show notes. And I also do a Why OS discovery. Do you know why you do what you do? Come do the Why discovery with me and you'll find out, as well as what your how and what are.
Very cool.
So why don't you do your sign off, Alex? I'll do it, and then we'll say goodbye.
So
We'll let Corey say goodbye too.
So I'm Alex Niel, certified high performance and mindset coach, and I work with women executives who feel unfulfilled despite being successful, helping them get unstuck, helping them to understand what is important to them so they can leave that meaningful and enduring legacy.
Love it. And I'm Cassingham, longevity coach at Live in Focused Energy, and I work with people to create smoother transitions into elderhood. I like to say that I transform the fear of aging, and my mission is to inspire people to take better care of themselves so the extra years they have are vibrant, healthy, and purposeful. Dr. W, do you want to say anything?
I'm Corey, and good being here.
You could say something like,
"Did you have fun today, Corey?"
Yeah, I had fun.
Fun.
Everybody else have fun too.
All right. Well, then we'll see you. Oh, I forgot to say the date. Not that it really matters, but April 12th, which is just 4 days before I leave for my Italian pilgrimage.
Ooh. Oh, that's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun. And that's
That's
something
a perfect topic for challenge.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So
Awesome.
all right. Good to see everybody. And
You
we'll
too.
talk again another time.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye, guys.